Buju wago shindigu minawa migizi indodem gazaga squaji mekag indunjiba. I've been asked lately by a number of people about advice regarding the use of indigenous names in public and specifically in publications and other kind of more lasting forms. Uh, this is a question that I think all of us as Indigenous people who are committed to our languages and cultures often grapple with. So here's my perspective. First of all, these customs may vary a little bit from tribe to tribe and at different points in time. I'm Ojibwe from Leech Lake in northern Minnesota, and in our area, it used to be the custom that although people received their Ojibwe spirit name, while very young and used that throughout life, it was the only name they had. They didn't have, English names, first names, last names, just their spirit names. That was what happened with their home community and family, that when they went out and faced the rest of the world, people often worried a little bit about bad medicine, being spiritually vulnerable around strangers who might want to do you harm. And so some people were a little more guarded with their spirit names in mixed company. So even famous chiefs like Hole in the Day and others went with a public nomer. Hole in the Day was called Guiwazens, boy, for a very long time, not just when he was a boy, but even as he emerged as a young adult. That changed later on as he actually assumed his father's name, Bagonegijik, and his own spirit name was still never divulged publicly. And he wasn't alone in that. So there are other Ojibwe chiefs who went by a public nomer, Bad Boy, or other names like that. That was just a custom regarding kind of spiritual protectionism. At the same time, many others, even at that point in time, simply went by their Ojibwe names. Medwe Ganonend at Red Lake didn't have any other name or way that he was known. And there were many others like that. So even back in the day, our ancient ones, our ancestors, didn't have the same perspective about what was advisable. Flash forward to today, and I think it's good kind of spiritual hygiene to be careful with sharing absolutely everything about our spiritual background widely with the rest of the world. But at the same time, we're at a time when Indigenous people are really grappling with invisibility and marginalization. And it's healthy for us to kind of decolonize our public personas. It's okay to hold up our native names, our clans, the native communities that we're from, and speak to our indigeneity and to the positiveness of our indigeneity. For me, my native name is Wagush, which means fox, and I'm from the Eagle clan, and I start every YouTube video that way. I put it on my Facebook page. I share it in all public venues. And I think it's a healthy, for me, decolonizing and reclaiming effort. And I would say that many Native people in our region, I hesitate to say most, I'm not sure, but certainly many do the same and are open with their Indigenous identity markers, their name, their clan, and where they're from. And I certainly encourage other people to do that, but I don't expect or shame people if they don't. It's a personal choice. Marlene Stately, who's from Ball Club, had several native names, and she kept most of them private. But there was one, a Nungukwe, that she used publicly whenever she had to deal with people in public. And she felt for her that protected part of her spiritually, but also fed the effort to hold us up, to render us visible and empowered in public space. And that's I think, the trend. Certainly, it's what I'm trying to do in my own life and work. When it comes to things like publications, it's further complicated by the fact that our birth records and kind of formal names in white space are used for things not just for paying taxes and so forth, but oftentimes how we have become known throughout our lives. For me, I think about my father, who was not native, and from whom I received my last name, and that he was really the last of his family to carry that name. And I take some pride in trying to keep the name going in my own life and sharing it with my children and so forth. Other people may not have that feeling about it, but it just provides an extra tension. There are a lot of Native people now who are actually going through that decolonizing process with birth records and so forth. I just gave a Native name to someone who went in and did a formal name change to change their name to their Native name. I know many other people who have done that as well. It simplifies the formal and informal worlds, and we're just holding up our Indigenous identity. So I think a lot of people are doing that, not universally. Although it's a personal choice, I applaud the efforts of everyone who want to center and hold up our Indigenous identity, including informal records, their publications, their public speaking, and so forth. Thank you so much. Miigwech. Thanks for watching today. I'm Anton Troyer. Let's keep in touch. I'm active on social media, and my website has lots of information on my books, speaking engagements, free Ojibwe language resources, resources for teachers, and more. Miigwech.